What's really good? I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. This is the Hitlist, the unofficial official power rankings for the challenge season 35, Total Madness. Tyler, what's good with you, man?
Yeah, it was a fun episode, man. I'm excited to be back. I'm just relaxing. I'm chilling.
What you think of today's episode?
It was fun. It was a lot of drama. I I feel like I'm gonna say a lot of things that people are gonna disagree with because they hate these characters. But I thought Bear and Kyle were hilarious. I thought I liked a lot of stuff they did. I liked that Ashley was featured, and I think she's a great character to follow along. And D is a D is a serious contender here.
I like the fact that Big T was featured. I like the fact that we finally got to hear Casey talk. And I agree with you. I thought Bear was hilarious today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual hit list. All right, so eliminated at number 25, we have Ashley. At number 24, we have Melissa. 23, Nelson. 22, Jenna. 21, Casey, Kyle, Maddie, Nani, and Josh. That's a great list right there. Great list of people we haven't seen all season. Let's start with your number 17 spot, Josh, moving up one spot for no reason whatsoever. I seen on Twitter today he congratulated Ashley for being the only person from last season to come back and face everybody because a whole bunch of people were scared once they seen the lineup. So let's go ahead and flame his mumble mouth ass. Why did Josh move up one spot for doing jack shit? I don't even think he talked this episode. Facts.
So he had three interviews. He was kind of highlighted a little bit from the cheering section, but he didn't do a lot to move up. What happened was Ashley above him got knocked out, so he moves up by default. He's one of those guys that just moved up naturally by default. There's a lot of movement ahead of him that fell down, and a lot of guys behind him that moved up, and he just kind of benefited from having a laid back episode.
That's what I'm talking about. In the challenge, sometimes you get to fail upwards.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened here. But hey, you gotta be easy on him. I like Josh. I'm coming around. I'm not gonna create a Stan account anytime soon, but I'm liking him.
Josh had one shining moment so far this season. He has been, for the most part, pretty useless for a guy that I thought we expected to see more of this season. I expected him to shine a little bit. Last season, he was kind of working with bananas, was going against the grain, made some power moves, picked a fight with CT, and this season, fucking wallpaper.
It's strategy though. Maybe he just says like maybe he's like watching himself and he's actually evaluating, and he's like, all right, past two seasons, all I've done has been loud, get people's faces, make myself a target. Let's just sit back. Let's be a fly on the wall. Let everybody else fight, and I'll just step in when I need to.
Let's talk about your number 21 spot, Casey. I mean, the basement right now really isn't that exciting. The basement really is just where you tucked away all the people who's not getting any camera time. But we got to see Casey come through today. She got to explain. I think the challenge really just fed her the line. Like, you get to explain the rules today. What is she has? I mean, she's been playing in the back. She hasn't been performing badly enough for people to notice, but she hasn't been doing anything great either. This isn't really a great spot for a Big Brother winner to be. What's going on with Casey? What does she got to do?
I don't. It's weird. I thought after I saw that she won Big Brother, and I don't know what she did on Big Brother. I'm not gonna go watch Big Brother. I just don't find it as that interesting to me. But the fact that she's a winner and it's a social game, you think that she would have all this social politicking going on right now. What means it means one of two things: either she's not interesting at all, and they can't find any dirt on her to something to fluff up drama, or B, she's that good at working her strategy that the cameras can't even catch it. So I think right now she just got to keep doing what she's doing. She won today's daily, a part of her group. She dominated. She kept moving through, and she got a little more camera time. She is at the bottom of these interviews week in and week out. And you know what? She got two. She doesn't seem like a lot, but that's like 200%. So from where she's been, she just got to keep performing in dailies, and I think naturally she's gonna get more camera time.
All right, that's enough for the basement. Let's go ahead and move it to the mid tier. At number 16, we have Kayla staying in the same position. 15, we got Big T moving up 6 spots, the most in the mid tier. 14 got Fessy, 13 Bailey, Swaggy C, Anissa, Jordan, and Bear. Now, this one is a lot more interesting. Let's go ahead and start off with the number 16 spot. Caleb was able to find himself some screen time today,
Yeah.
courtesy of Bear and his persistence. How are you feeling about this whole Bear chasing Caleb down thing, this whole angle?
I mean, it's just protocol for Bear at this point. He finds a girl he thinks it's pretty and that he hasn't hooked up with yet, and then he just kind of goes for her. He's done this 2 seasons in a row, and I mean, if he likes somebody, he's gonna keep going. And he's funny about it. Where like every time something happens, he's like, oh, "Okay, fine, you followed me in this room. I'll leave," even though she's clearly trying to walk away from him. I think it's funny. I was dying laughing when him, Wes, and Rogan were in the hallway, and he was like, "Laugh with me, make me look better,
Oh
laugh,
my
laugh."
God.
Like, I thought that was hilarious. And then Rogan's like, "Oh, you're so funny, Bear. You're so sexy." Like, I thought that was so funny. I thought that was great. Bear's just like, I'm gonna say this on our recap too. Bear's gold. Every time he's on the TV, it's entertaining, and I don't even care if he gets eliminated next week or if he makes it to the final. He's gonna be entertaining every episode he's on.
All right, so I understand the whole persistence thing, but at what point do we draw the line between being persistent and being kind of creepy? She has a boyfriend at home. Mikey is a cool guy. She obviously is trying, and I think it'll just be so terrible to see her doing so well with just brushing him off to the side, and for him to still get this conquest under his belt. It just rubs me. It just feels so.
It
I
does
don't.
feel wrong. It does feel a little dirty and everything. Here's the thing, and I'm not gonna defend Bear or whatever, say Kayla's doing anything wrong, but I mean, if she wanted to shut this down, she could. Just 100% could shut it down. She could tell Jenna and Nani, be like, I don't want him near me at ever, and they would shut it down instantly, and Bear would move on. He wouldn't keep pushing if somebody like screamed no, and like in his face. But she's kind of playful, you know. It's kind of like kids on the elementary school playground. They're like, I don't like you. You're stupid. But like they're flirting kind of, and it's all playful at this point. You know, it's if she wants to stop, I feel like she could, and I think he would respect that. I don't know. People are probably gonna tell me I'm wrong because Bear's a horrible individual or whatever, but that's just what I take from it.
I mean, it's a challenge house. You give somebody an inch, they're going to take a mile. So
It's a bunker. It's a challenge
yeah,
bunker.
it's a challenge bunker.
They can't
Exactly.
even look out the window to change view.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and move up one spot to the number 15 spot, Big T. A lot of camera time. I was so very impressed. I already like Big T, and she seems to be pretty well liked around the house. I like the fact that she did exactly what you're supposed to do when you find yourself in a position of power. You trade that position for favors later. And she did great. The first team she went to, she went and got the Holy Trinity. Now you all owe
Smart.
me one. And then she went to Bailey. You're good. We don't need to have a conversation. And now Bailey's, I'm sorry, Bailey is a good person to have on your team. And it looks like Big T is really doing the thing. She's playing the game kind of how she wants to. How are you taking Big T's new confidence and her gameplay and strategy?
I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. What I really like about this is, even though it was kind of a joke, Wes and Bananas were kind of like coaching up Jen last time and everything, and now they're coaching up Big T here, like Bananas was. I think this is what veterans should do. Like guys that are at the tail end of their career, they should be finding somebody they think is interesting for the show, that's good for the show, and then teaching them as much as possible. I mean, look at what it's done for D with Wes just coaching her up and everything. If Bananas keeps working with Big T, she's going to deliver good episodes like she did this week. Getting favors when you have power is what we've been preaching for people to do for 3 weeks, and now she finally did it. And she's still a rookie. I mean, this is week 4. This is her like 5th or 6th episode. That's it. 'Cause she was only on like one episode, last season. So
Exactly.
she's still a rookie. For her to be able to make this play, and the whole time she's doing this, Casey's nowhere to be found. Casey and even when they're in the tribunal, she's just sitting there, and Big T's still working everything. I mean, it's really interesting to see somebody blow up right in front of us so fast, and I like it.
Absolutely. I love it too. She has a great personality. She is well liked. And we didn't get to see what she was able to do. And I think she came into the season planning on like, I want to show you I could play this game. Even more so, to what I took from it is it seems like she is a student of the game. It seems like she went back and she studied some. And now that she's in it for a while, she's taken some of these strategies that has worked for champions in the past and she's putting it to use. Sounds good, looks good. She's going to have to back it up in purgatory, though, for it to be effective.
Yeah,
All right.
100%.
In the mid-tier, let's go ahead and jump to your number 11 spot. Anissa, moving up 4 spots. 1 or 2 spots because Ashley is gone. Okay, but 4 spots seems kind of high. I know she got some camera time during the daily and some during the whole Kayla thing. I don't know if she's really done enough to really get that high. Like, what are you using to move her up 4 spots in the mid-tier?
Anissa is she's the female comic relief right now. Like she's providing us good commentary. It's not just like how many interviews you get in my eyes. It's what you do with those interviews. Because like if somebody has a funny interview, I'm gonna remember that a lot more than somebody just describing the daily challenge.
That's a
Like I
fact.
I can describe the daily challenge with both my own eyes, but I can't make the jokes that somebody else makes. So her interviews are so much better than other people. She had 4 interviews. She won the daily challenge, and although other people were talking like Big T and Bananas, she was kind of still in control there. I'm thinking that the edit didn't give us as much as she gave off in that tribunal, because she appeared to get just as much out of it as Big T. They just highlighted Big T because she's a rookie. I just like how Anissa's playing this game. I like how she has this like realization that like every time I lose a season, it's because I get in my way, nobody else. Like I like that. It's confidence, and Anissa seems different. She seems different than the past. She's not like flip flopping. She's not playing scared. She's just being a vet.
And flying under the radar and letting
Mm-hmm.
her vet status take over for a little bit. Something she could have used a couple of years ago, but I enjoy Anissa, and I do want to see her get one before it's all said and done. We all know the older you get, the harder they get. And unless you're Mark Long, who can trade that in, for cash on the back end, I would just love to see Anissa get one before it's all said and done. Before we get out of the mid tier, you got Jordan at your number 10 spot. Besides Jordan, so not including Jordan, who do you feel like has the best chance of moving out of the mid tier, and how are they going to do it?
If things pick up, it's Big T. Big T for me is been a player the past 2 weeks. Everybody else that's like doing these power rankings, I don't think is giving her enough credit for the fact that she's having good on-screen presence. She's performing well in dailies. She's not backing down from anybody, and she's doing what you're supposed to do with power. And that's as Wes said, is you just like soak it up and you get as much as you can out of that little power. Because before you know it, she could never go back into a tribunal. But you know what she did in her one tribunal? She cut 3 deals with people that weren't even in the tribunal. That's crazy.
I think she played that really, really well. So you think Big T over, you got a Fessy in here, you got Anissa in here, Swaggy, Bailey, and Kayla. You think Big T.
There's something she has that they don't, and that's that Johnny Bananas likes her. And if Johnny Bananas is riding the high, he can just take her with. You know what? Leroy rid her on the top tier and was safe all these seasons because he was with Bananas. Simple as that. So I think she's gonna slide on in and be there somebody to feed off of him and help him get him information, but she's gonna get just as much out of it. And we're gonna see this, teacher student relationship.
Let me ask you a what if. What if
love
Leroy
what
was what if he was here this season? How do you think he would be playing this game?
I think Leroy is at the point of his career after he gave so much last season. I think he would just be what we kind of see from like Zach now, where Zach just kind of is just like, I'm just here. I just want to do athletic things and have fun. I don't want any drama. And if I make it far, I make it far. If I go home, whatever. Like that's how I feel like Leroy's gonna start being from now on. And that's where we'd see him here. He'd be kind of sitting around in this area of Josh and Swaggy C, like where we kind of get a couple of bits from him, but he's just kind of there. And that's just what I think. So
All right. Time to move on to the top tier. At number 8, we have Jenny. At number 7, we have Corey. 6, Rogan. At number 5, we have Tori moving up 4 spots. At 4, we got Wes. 3, we got Jay. At number 2, we have Bananas. And at number 1, we have D. So, Bananas and Jay at 2 and 3. I wonder if that's the closest they ever get. Let's see.
it's been pretty close. I don't know if there's any other way that they've like been like almost brothers or anything, but
Let's see who's interesting in here. All right, Tori, moving up 4 spots. And I'm trying to think what she has done today besides totally blow that meeting with the tribunal. She blew it. I mean, if she wanted to get in, she did not play it correctly. And then she goes and complains about it. Oh, I felt threatened, and I don't feel like that any of them are my friends. You're in the tribunal. It's like, get over it. What has Tori done to get her into the number 5 spot?
Well, not counting Ashley because she's gone, but of the 24 people here, only 5 people had more TV time than her. She got second place in the daily. Her, Wes, and Jay did really well in there. And if you were seeing, and this is no disrespect to any of the women, but a lot of the people sending the people into the water was like all their guys. And then it was a couple girls here or there. But really, only Tori and Anissa performed really well for the girls.
And
Other than
Anissa got that puzzle done.
exactly. And outside of those guys, I mean, Anissa and Tori, I feel like helped finish that puzzle pretty well by Tori being physical and getting the pieces out, and Anissa finishing it mentally. But I think outside of those two, it was like all guys in there, and I just thought that she outperformed all these other guys. Like she outperformed Corey and Rogan above and beyond Fessy. She outperformed all these guys, and we could say that she had Wes and Jay, but I mean, there were guys that were freaking. There was like 3 meatheads together that are stronger than everybody else in this game apparently, and they couldn't even get the job done fast enough, you know. And she had a lot of TV time, and I just think what I find interesting is this new strategy of her and Jordan is like, if it's a guy's elimination, I'm gonna pretty much throw it and help him, and Jordan does the same thing for her. So I don't know. I just think she has a lot going for that. We're not taking credit for her.
It is an interesting strategy, but it doesn't seem to have really been working.
I'm gonna say this though, she was going into elimination tonight. If it was a physical elimination, she was going straight in. I guarantee it, because when they saw it was kind of a puzzle, they all kind of pulled an audible. So, because they wanted D to go home, the tribunal did. So I think that they would have thrown her a bone if it was like hall brawl or pole wrestle. I think that I don't know. I got a lot more out of her this week than I did Corey, Rogan, and Jenny, who fell.
I would agree. Let's talk about your number 4 spot, Wes. Moving up 3 spots. Now listen, you always tell me, Wes is always a good guy. He's always a good guy. What he did today was scandalous. Scandalous. He should not have helped out in that manner. Of course, people are always screaming stuff, but this one felt a little dirty. This one felt a little bit more wrong because Ashley may have had a chance because she's had the advantage of being here and maybe watching some of the old challenges. I mean, D couldn't tell you one person who was in the Inferno or probably even Bloodlines. So this one, don't get me wrong, I understand. People yell stuff from the stands all the time and people try to help their friends. I get it. But he solved it for her. And that's where it kind of seems wrong. In this case, Wes is a bad guy. And you got him up 4 spots, which makes you a bad guy.
Hold on. Is it a bad guy to defend like your number 1? Like, isn't that what he's supposed to do? Because if D goes home, he loses his closest ally.
You know what happened is Wes has won a female elimination today. And granted, that's more eliminations than Josh has ever won, but it still doesn't feel right.
I mean, he's making up for that female elimination he lost against Turbo. So he's trying to redeem himself. Here's my thing. From what I got from all that elimination is that everybody was kind of saying that everybody was quiet for D and they were all rooting on Ashley. Everybody was rooting on Ashley. So I think the reason why he waited so long is because he was like, I have this, relationship with Johnny Bananas right now who wants D gone. Everybody's rooting for Ashley right now. And I think it was just like it was like a dad moment, like your kid's kind of struggling. And you're like, just let him do it. And then finally you're like, I'm going to help you. We're going to do this. Like, you're going to succeed. And that's just what I took from it. I didn't like how he came across in it. No, I don't think he should have involved himself. I blame production for that. I don't think he should have done that. But we saw this last season or 2 seasons ago between Johnny Bananas and Zach. And they were doing that geography wall.
Exactly.
And everybody was helping. That shouldn't happen. Like, nobody should be allowed to see. And they should pretty much say, like, if you talk to the other people or they help you, you have like a 1-minute time penalty or something.
Or most likely, I think a fine will probably be more appropriate for something like that. But it does seem that the other challengers did try to intervene. And at some point, I know it's kind of hard to see because it was fast. It looked like TJ Levin turned around at West and kind of admonished him to kind of chill. And it looks like she got enough of it to kind of figure it out at the end, which I know for guys like me and you who have seen every single episode, every single season, it was just like this would be the easiest thing to do in the
I had
world.
that.
I had it
that
as soon
down.
as
I'm like,
when they were describing it, I had it. So
yeah. As soon as they described, you had to label all the seasons in order. Like my mind just went into like ranking of where they were. Like I saw Cutthroat, and I was like, Cutthroat was season 20.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I started going like, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't the best tactic and everything to make himself look better. He's kind of just there's little things that Wes is doing this season that are putting targets on his back that he doesn't need to do. However, he protected his number one, and I think that's very important.
I think from where we're sitting on it, it's not the greatest look. We're not going to like it. But if we was up on the stands and we had to protect our number one, wouldn't you? If you was in the elimination and I had the answer right there, would I not say anything? So I think on this side, it's easy for us to criticize and feel some kind of way about that. But when you're up there, I can kind of get it. So I respect it mostly by just shutting the fuck up. Let's talk about your number 2 spot, Johnny Bananas. Johnny Bananas seemed to have taken Big T under his wing a little bit, showed her the ropes. That was cool. You can always count on Bananas being usually, most days, unless there's a major storyline going, he's going to be usually top 3 when it comes to screen time. Seems to be playing a pretty good game. It got a little dicey last week, but it looks to be evening out. And now that he got Ashley out, what is keeping him? Better yet, instead of this being about Bananas, let's make it about D. Okay. What is D doing that's keeping Johnny Bananas from being number 1 this week?
She won the elimination.
Is that it? Is that the? Because that's what I was thinking. Is that the one thing? Just getting the Red Skull?
Because last week they were 2 and 3, and when the elimination started, I wrote in pencil Johnny Bananas at 1, just in case D lost. I could have my power ranking starting to work. And then as soon as D won, I was like, all right, well then Bananas moves down 1, and D moves in that top spot. Because I mean D got a lot of coverage, Bananas got a lot of coverage, and that was kind of the determining factor was whether or not D was even going to be on the show next week. For D, to hold off Bananas, she just has to keep doing what she's doing. I have been against D for a long time. Like I liked her a lot her first season. Last season, I thought she got carried. People could say she didn't, whatever. I'm going to stand by what I say.
More than one thing could be true.
Yes, exactly. And she could have not been carried, but there were in times when she could have went into elimination and she was protected.
Right. Like, I would never sit here and say she was carried the whole time, and if it wasn't for a team, she would have never made it. But was there times where they came and covered for her? Absolutely.
And, this season, I mean, Bananas is like when Bear was like calling her out and was like, did Ashley have a number 2 that was helping her out? And he was like, yeah, it was me. So what?
I thought she was another person who I thought bombed that. I thought she bombed that meeting with the tribunal, but I think I think her and Tori both bombed it. But I felt like she bombed it in a way where she'll probably end up getting what she wants. I mean, as soon as that was done, I was just like, I could tell by her demeanor and the way she's acting. I would vote her in too, which is kind of what she wanted.
Exactly.
So
she played that better than Tori because I don't know. She played it better because she got in when she got what she wanted, as she said at the beginning of that meeting. But she won. And we see this a lot with people. When they get their first championship win, that next season, like their swagger is through the roof.
She is cocky. She
just smiles all the time. You're gonna come after me? Okay.
But you know what though? She's making power moves. She's throwing people in. She's getting rid of her enemies. She admitted to Johnny Bananas in his face, yeah, I came after you. Yeah, I want to go in. Goes in, cleans house against another female winner. Probably one of the best female competitors that we've had in the past couple of seasons. Say what you want about Ashley, she gets it done. Like, I did not like Ashley jumping off, especially during her real world season when she left and she said that, buy your family statement to Corey. So didn't like her for a long time. But guess what? She shows up when she doesn't quit. But she shows up, she kicks ass, and I can respect that.
She is one of the most balanced female competitors the challenge has ever seen. Like everything she does is above average, which is good. She's a good swimmer. She's smart at puzzles. She's strong. She can do a lot of things. She has endurance. She can win finals. She's not afraid of elimination, and she's not afraid to rally people against other people. She's a very balanced. Yeah, she's a complete balanced competitor. And for D to be able to take her out Dee's building up a pretty impressive
That's
resume.
impressive. That's an
Like
impressive name to add. At,
outside of her loss to Davon, I mean, that's Dee's been racking up these wins, and she's been doing really well. Got a championship under her belt. She's starting to take over, and she's wanting. I think she wants to be the face of this franchise as the female side.
and she's doing well on her way to get that. And the fact of the matter is, out of the out of the female competitors available, some of the best names you could put on the list of people to defeat is Ashley, Okara. Anissa's a little bit older, and her elimination record is suspect. But if it's anything physical, she's probably going to squash you. Putting Ashley as a take on that elimination box, that's big. That's big. You can't knock that. Before we get out of here, let's talk about the eliminated. Let's talk about Ashley. Ashley got eliminated a little bit on the early side this season, made the final last season, went out early the season before that, won the season before that. Just the epitome of a roller coaster these past 4 seasons, these past 2 years. What is she going to have to do to straighten this out? She got called out early, making an enemy in Johnny Bananas didn't work out to her advantage. Because the past couple of seasons, you could piss Johnny off and get him out. But it's just not working this season. He got a little bit more clout. What is Ashley going to have to do to even this out?
Well, I mean, for the first thing, the only reason Banana stayed out of elimination is because of Wes. Like, Wes is the reason Banana stayed out. If Wes wanted to, he would have set Bananas in. This had been any other season, Bananas would have already been into elimination against Jay.
That's a
and
fact.
we don't know what would have happened there. For Ashley, though, Ashley is, and I don't, it's weird to compare people, but like, this is like kind of how Wes was for a while. If you remember, like his middle stages, he kind of would have like a good season, and then he would come back and just like down, and then a good season again, and then kind of like done. And that's what, it's weird that he's doing that. Ashley's doing the same trend right now. I think Ashley needs more time away. I don't think if Ashley ever makes a final, she can't come back the next season. She needs time away. She doesn't like being in these houses. She doesn't like being around all these people. She does not like it. And we've seen her quit shows 3 times. Her Real World season, Dirty 30, and we saw her quit the Champs versus
Champs versus Stars thing.
where she won
Season 2.
Well, she didn't quit, but she was about to leave and then had to go into elimination. But you know what I mean? Like she puts herself in this mentality where she doesn't want to be there. And so I think when you go back to back, like this is 4 seasons in a row, that's a large toll to take on you. Like she needs to sit back and just enjoy being a millionaire.
Before we get out of here, real quick, I want to ask you a question. Michigan shirt?
Yeah.
Or is it for Malik?
Yeah? No, it's not from Malik. It's from Michigan.
You're a Wolverine fan?
I am a Wolverine fan.
Why?
Here's a fun little story, a little behind the scenes, knowing more about the host. When I was 6 years old, my dad gave me a bunch of sports posters, and it was like little, like I don't know, 8x10s, and he gave me one. It was like a sky view of the Michigan Stadium. Fans were just like flooding out of it, and I just like fell in love with the stadium. The fact that so many people, 100,000, could come watch a college game, it just drew me in, and that's where it started. And that was it.
It's a great story, bro. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. This is The Hitlist. Good night, y'all.
Bye.